And mandatory quarantine in hotels is in the cards for all arrivals to Canada.
I cannot urge Canadians too strongly. Please, now is not the time to travel.
The warning comes as COVID takes on more contagious forms around the world. The U.S. extending its ban on travel from Brazil and Europe. The White House press secretary says they're also adding a country to the list, South Africa.
With the pandemic worsening and more contagious variants spreading, this isn't the time to be lifting restrictions on international travel.
A worrying variant spreading in South Africa has been detected here in Canada. Under the current rules, travelers need proof of a negative test before boarding a Canada-bound flight and must still isolate for 2 weeks once they return.
Why
Reporting
wouldn't
live,
you?
I'm Karen Seolin.
How stupid are you?
680 News Time at 9:35. The death toll from COVID-19 at a long-term care home in Barrie continues to climb, and we're now learning Moderna vaccine that they were supposed to get have been redirected. 680
900
Martino with
grams.
the details.
General Rick Hillier, who's in charge of Ontario's vaccination,
3 cups of mix, approximately half the package, and water.
Being redirected from Roberta Place, but he has an explanation.
Stir it till all ingredients are blended. You know, both of them.
To get those are at most risk, and if vaccines moved around, that would have been why.
Public health officials confirm the more easily transmissible variant of COVID-19 first identified in the UK has surfaced in Roberta Place. 41 people are dead.
MAIS,
127 of its 129 residents have tested positive for the virus. Dr. Colin Lee, Associate Medical Officer of Health for the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit, told the Barrie 360 several days ago, "I only wish I could turn the clock back. If we had vaccine a month before we went in on January 17th, I think this outbreak would be a lot less severe." I'm Phil Martino. The province has changed its vaccine rollout plan to speed up vaccinations for long-term care residents.
Every time I said, what the hell, you're probably going to change it, you're lying to us, blah, blah, blah.
Not done in the first place.
The last 3 weeks of the vaccine thing, get the point across.
When it comes to long-term care homes during the second wave.
Since the first vaccine was administered 6 weeks ago, close to 1,000 long-term care residents have died of COVID-19. The government now says it's hastening the pace of vaccinations after a report last week concluded getting them done 2 weeks sooner would prevent 600 infections and 115 deaths.
We need to have a system where resources and supports can be rapidly, not within weeks, not even within days, but within hours, mobilized to homes to save lives.
Doug Ford was pushing for greater border control. He's calling on the Prime Minister to close the Canadian border to all non-Canadian citizens and residents and wants anyone who does get in to be tested. Cynthia Mulligan, City News.
A Canadian CEO is stepping down after allegedly jumping the vaccine line. Here's our Richard Southern.
Stepping aside is the CEO of Great Canadian Gaming, Rod Becker. This company, by the way, runs casinos right across Canada, including the one at Woodbine Racetrack. Baker and his wife allegedly flew from their home in Vancouver over the weekend up to the Yukon to get the Moderna vaccine. They traveled allegedly to Beaver Creek remote community. They would have been required by territorial law there to isolate for 14 days on arrival, but allegedly did not.
I'll have those syringes.
$75 for failing to self-isolate. Great Canadian Gaming stock closing lower on Bay Street today. I'm Richard Southern.
So far this winter hasn't been very winter-like. That's about to come to an end. Our first big snow on its way tomorrow. 680's Michelle Mackey has her snow shovel ready.
Whoever said that, throw them outside right now, just for 10 minutes. Then throw some water at them.
This Texas low making a beeline for the GTA and the Golden Horseshoe on average 5 to 10 centimeters of snow. But 680
No, it's a Texas. What? Alberta, but there's Texas. It's Canadian high pressure coming down from North
By the time
Carolina.
this system moves out Tuesday night. And that's why Environment Canada has issued snowfall warnings from Mississauga through Oakville to Burlington. And it's not just the snow Denise is concerned about.
Through the afternoon, 40 to 60 kilometer per hour winds gusting out of the northeast.
So while the morning commute will be challenging for essential workers, the afternoon drive will be a nightmare as the wind ramps up, drastically dropping visibility. I'm Michelle Mackey.
In 30 seconds, we'll check gas prices.
680 News Time, 9:39.
Well, it's certainly been an interesting year. And if you're like me, maybe you've been drinking
Someone in the Chinese food industry will have to explain to me why metal on one side came from the
Canadian
other.
Cancer
Wow.
Society. When you sign up at drivefed.ca, you'll help fund
Damn
groundbreaking
it.
research and support services for people affected by cancer. And you can reduce your own risk of cancer. Try stopping for a week or the whole month. Go as dry as you're willing to try this February. Sign up at drivefed.ca. It's easier than you think.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. ANPRO predicts the price will not change at midnight, staying at $1.12.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 9:40 in line.
The most
Chicken,
important
big
question
pieces of
anyone should
chicken.
ever ask is, would you
Motherfucker.
marry me?
Not. Are we alone in the universe?
Well,
Or how did the brain name itself?
Okay.
This is
point
Lamont's
taken.
kid
The most
and
important
the,
question
what's her
anyone
name?
can ask
The
whenever
boss's
love and
daughter,
wanna be
right?
with that person
Probably.
forever is, will you marry me? Make sure it's a yes. With Spence Diamonds, Canada's engagement destination, with thousands of rings to choose from. Spence Diamonds, open for virtual appointments and curbside pickup.
Does the complexity of real estate have you rethinking if moving is even worth it? At Properly.ca, we're bringing common sense to real estate, helping you
You
buy
know,
and
so
move into your new home.
buy a second house when you
before
start the
you
first
even list
one.
While you
Common
enjoy the
sense
comforts
is why
of
would
your
you
home,
fucking sell it at that point if you can
and
swing
show
both
your
of
old
them?
one to get you the best price on the market. Your experienced property
I'll
real
buy
estate
all
agent
the
will guide you
houses
through
and
the
I'll be the
process,
landlord.
helping you move on your terms.
There's a smarter way to move, the properly way. Visit properly.ca to get started today.
Properly. Look at empty this.
680 News Time, 9:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Zach Steve.
And this report is brought to you by Canadian Blood Services. We have a new issue now on the westbound 401. As you make your way west of Yonge, the transfer lanes to the collectors have a right lane blocked because of a stalled vehicle. There's no delay through here, and a couple of other restrictions on the major routes. So just construction related. Those two not causing any slowdowns. Northbound 400 right lane blocked at Highway 89. Southbound 404, the right lane taken out at Stouffville Road, and then South 427 at Rathburn in the Express. It's the right lane blocked. In Mississauga, still the closure of Dixie from Bloor to south of Burnhamthorpe, ongoing collision investigation, so that's still shut down. And then the intersection of Broadway and
Canadian drug dealers all over
westbound and
the world.
northbound lane restrictions for construction. A message from Canadian Blood Services: join the fight against COVID-19 by donating plasma if you've tested positive for the virus. And
That's not a fight against COVID-19. If you tested positive, you fucked
With the
up.
forecast, here's Denise Andriachi.
Join the war effort. If you've been killed in war,
The winter
join the
storm
war
that we're
effort.
expecting for Tuesday. Strong winds and periods of snow beginning in the morning. Very steady accumulation through the day tomorrow. If you can run some last minute errands for essentials this evening, that's a good idea.
You've been saying
Because we
that
do
since
have
6
some
o'clock or
very
something.
hefty
That doesn't
snowfall
add up.
expected for much of the day
Doesn't
tomorrow.
add
Up
up.
to 10 centimeters on average.
Everything closed 2
with locally
hours
even
ago. You
higher
know that.
amounts. Behind the active weather, very cold air starts to sink south. We're down to -8 Tuesday night, feeling much colder when you factor in the wind chill. Your overnight low tonight, -3.
Downtown
Oh,
Toronto,
shit,
right
Asian,
now we're
I
looking at a partly cloudy sky, 0, feeling like -3, and at Pearson, partly cloudy, -2, feeling like -4. 680 News Time, 9:42.
A multi-vehicle crash in Mississauga has put a man in hospital in critical
Get the
condition.
fuck- you got
crash
better
happened just
stories
before
than that. I know, I've been
3
listening
o'clock
for, like,
at Dixie, just north of Bloor.
all
Police say
day.
the man was being transported to hospital. He lost vital signs, and paramedics were able to revive him. The investigation is ongoing.
Really?
Any witnesses are asked to call police. And
Police
Toronto police
declare him
launching a
dead
Winter
first?
Watch week of action that will focus on pedestrian safety. Police say from January 25th to 31st, all frontline officers will focus on the big four driver behaviors known to cause injuries to all road users: speeding, driving aggressively, driving while distracted, and driving while impaired. Over the last 3 years, 170 people have been killed on Toronto's roads, and over 100 of them were pedestrians. Your headlines coming up in 1 minute.
680 News Time, 9:43.
If your head wants to plan for retirement, but your heart wants to enjoy life now, the Scotia Aria Retirement Program can help. No matter where you're starting from, we can create a unique path to help reach your vision of retirement. And as you grow, this flexible...
Join Kelvin the Money Guy with Chris Preston this Sunday morning at 9 for answers to your investment questions. And for advice anytime, go to askkelvin.ca. That's ask, KELVIN.ca. Askkelvin.ca.
If I told you there are as many as 2,000 homeless youth in our city each night,
Would you care? What if I told you most of
You
them
know,
have
you get $2,800 a month for each one.
For a virtual tour to make your home your castle.
Go to thechesterfieldshop.com for more of our great factory special savings. And please stay safe.
Toronto's news now. This is 680 News.
It's -2 and overcast. Feels like -5. Good evening. I'm Caitlin Lee.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories right now.
Toronto health officials express concern that the number of cases of a new, more contagious variant of COVID-19 reaches the double digits in our city. The Fed's considering tightening travel rules to stop these new variants from spreading in our country further. And a snowfall warning out for the western GTA with Toronto under a special weather statement. We're anticipating up to 10 centimeters of snow in parts. Your extended forecast at 9:51. 680 News Time, 9:45.
It is proven and safety tested. One application will protect your staff and customers for up to 90 days.
Hello, I'm Dr. Maurizio Miglietta, Chief Medical Officer of NanoNation. Let NanoNation help keep everyone safe and your businesses moving forward.
For more information, visit nanonationcanada.com.
I'm Global News meteorologist Anthony Parnell. Tune in to my dog walking forecast weeknight. It's an hour-by-hour forecast to make the most of your stroll, plus a chance to show off your precious fruits by sending in a pic. Only on Global News at 5:30 and 6. Right, Storm?
Meeting up with a few friends and neighbors, getting together with colleagues after work, attending a friend's wedding. All seem harmless, but these are the types of things contributing to a significant spike in COVID-19 cases in Ontario. Community spread is making more and more people sick, threatening to overwhelm our hospitals.
Community spread, that's when you go to the
Vaccines
soup
will help
kitchen and there's
protect
a
us,
peanut
but until
butter
they're
jar
widely
there.
available, we all need to follow public health advice and guidelines. That means staying home except for essential reasons, like buying groceries. Stay home, stay safe, save lives. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
So, how's your blood pressure? Pretty good. What if I said fixed or variable? 3 years or 5, 10, 25%, or maybe no down payment at all? Self-employed, bad credit, lots of consumer debt? So how's your pressure now? Yeah, pretty much what I thought. You want to make the most important financial decision of your life, and we want to help you make it, no matter what your finances are like. Northwood Mortgage, 416-969-8130, or visit us online at northwoodmortgage.com.
License 10349. Do you remember the first time you rode your bike?
You're doing great, son.
Your funds more effectively and gives you that financial peace of mind. Think of it as secured lending so you can do all the things you've been dreaming about, whether it's the basement renovation or taking care of tuition. It's the smart move that allows you to take only what you need when you want it. Whether you could use $50,000 or $1.5 million, that cash is available to you. Call Capital Direct today at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL. CA.
680 News Time, 9:47.
Parliament resumed for the first time since mid-December today, and up for emergency debate in the House vaccines and the Keystone XL pipeline. With no shots arriving from Pfizer this week, and provinces warning they're running out of shots, Conservative leader Aaron O'Toole says the Trudeau government has been late to the game.
They've known for months there were going to be problems with production. They didn't plan for it.
Plan for it, they bought everything they could.
And we're still on target to get enough vaccines for all Canadians by September. Conservatives also challenging the Prime Minister over the U.S. cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline and Buy American policies from U.S. President Joe Biden.
What the fuck
Trudeau says
Trudeau's supposed to say about
Trump,
that?
he'll defend Canada's interests with the new administration.
We will stay focused on sticking up for Canadians every step of the way.
Tonight is the emergency debate on the pipeline. Tomorrow's MPs will discuss tomorrow,
Better not try and get it changed.
Vaccines. The House impeachment case against Donald Trump has been delivered to the U.S. Senate, which will open its trial against the former president early next month.
As is tradition,
Mr. Trudeau, you want to make it a free for 3 times
to
in
the
one
upper
term?
chamber to deliver the
What's that,
article of
average
impeachment
78
against
months?
Donald Trump. Congressman Jamie Raskin, the lead impeachment manager, reads aloud the charge.
Donald John Trump engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors by inciting violence against the government of the United States.
Citing the deadly incursion at the U.S. Capitol after Trump urged supporters to fight again.
Trippz are not strains, so we prefer to call them variants. They are quite different. So
they're not strains. Get the fuck out of here.
kind of call them the UK strain.
What's the difference between a strain and a variant? Nothing. What's a variety?
Kind of avoiding attaching these variants
Doctors
to
don't
a
study
certain
genetics
country because of
selective
the
breeding.
stereotypes that
Oh, they all know
with it.
about race.
So,
Niggers complain
because
too much
we are
about
not
paying.
actually sure where these variants
African
are
accent
started
study
from.
British
Truly,
medicine, I guarantee.
they are first
Supplemented
identified
by
in
German
the
torture experiments.
117 was first identified in the
Canadian
UK,
residential
and
schools where they
the
start kids to death.
501 V2 was first identified in South Africa. So that's just the simple clarification that I would like to make. So it's a big threat to the disaster, just as we described it, because as you rightly said, it has a higher transmissibility of more than 50%. So what that means is that a lot of people are going to get infected, and if that happens, eventually the fatality will be quite high.
So right now we have 2,500, 2,600 cases. We seem to somewhat be going in the right direction, but we've also been locked down for weeks now. You know, I think you know what we've got in place as far as restrictions. We don't have lockdowns as far as traveling. You can still travel in this country. We don't have strong quarantine rules. How do we get ahead of this thing? Like, what would it take for these
by federal law, or
variants to
you
take
go with the
hold?
Canadian forces? Is it strong enough?
Alex. So, yeah,
They're never going to stop it from provincial travel because it's illegal for you to attempt to do that.
Most of the provinces in Canada are actually working. So the restrictions, the simple basic social distancing or physical distancing measures are working. And you can see that in the number of cases. The number of cases are declining in most of the provinces, if not all of them. So, but what our modeling studies show is that if we keep doing what we are doing now without any changes, then although the variants may take a little time, it will slow down in the beginning, but eventually it will be established and things will get out of hand.
Established now,
your question about how quick it can get hold.
How long did you study epidemiology and virology?
By the number of imported cases at the beginning. So how many people are coming in with this?
You're using the term imported cases. You're looking at this from the national government's
with the local population.
propagandist point of
So
view.
if people keep
And you're missing the point.
coming in with these variants and they are not properly quarantined and they can mix freely, then it will kick off really quickly. But if people are quarantined and travels are regulated, probably restricted to essential travel,
it's not Africa, bro.
then you are reducing the number of seeding, the number of seeds of infection at the onset. So it will give him it will buy time.
So this is all about the last year
so that
or the last 3 months. This is nothing to do with
can have more time to get to more people.
Yeah.
So
Well, the problem is,
What time do you know?
I mean,
What
we know
time
the
do you
vaccines
know?
aren't going to be
British
here in
everything.
time in Canada. The first cases came in from a paramedic and a doctor. They didn't report it. With very weak quarantine laws, we aren't rapid testing, and we aren't stopping international travel. What would your message be to the levels of government, the federal government? What should they be doing and when? We just don't seem to be taking it seriously enough, and it looks like we're going to get caught flat-footed again.
yeah, thank you. So what we should be doing now is to
Is that a dig at
step up
Big Because we get our feet arches fucked up walking on your tongue.
we can restrict travel to essential travels alone. So non-essential travels should be cancelled if possible, so that it will limit the number of people that are coming in. So the quarantine also should be made mandatory. I think they are already mandatory, but it should be well supervised, so that anyone who is coming in will be able to quarantine.
The people that are coming in.
14 days or thereabout.
Vectors.
So that
the fuck so hard with this guy's language.
With the population.
Any of them, these doctors, any of them.
Measures that are currently in place, although they are not palatable, but they actually working. Because if you look at South Africa, for instance, despite the fact that this variant spread like wildfire, after the restrictions were implemented,
the restrictions were so tight you couldn't get alcohol and tobacco, and reports of rapes and murders dropped.
They work, but you know the lockdown.
No,
looks like
they
we're not
didn't
getting
work.
out of it
You
anytime
fucking
soon.
retards.
People
He
live with
came
this
from
forever,
there.
and my concern, I think a lot of other people are justly concerned that those in charge are not acting quickly enough. And my greatest concern is that this variant, be it Brazil, South Africa, UK, wherever it's coming from, is going to get hold and really start to ravage an already ravaged healthcare system.
Yeah,
it's in 60 plus countries.
Who are making decisions will listen and step up measures.
So it's coming from Brazil, right?
To improve surveillance and make sure that even those who are coming in, we have few people coming in with the variants, they will be identified and isolated as soon as possible.
Wow.
Doctor, I appreciate your time. It's very late, obviously, in your side of the world, but I appreciate you chatting with us tonight.
So anybody coming in, what?
Thank you so much, Alex. It's a pleasure.
You are
that is Dr. R.A. Elisha joining us from South Africa. And again, the big warning. If
thank you, white girl, for pretending since you're a girl, you're not prejudiced and racist. And showed us the dumbest black man you could find.
Stay tuned.
Who happened to get a doctorate.
Here we go. Monday's in the bag. And we'll see what the rest of the week looks like. Prepare for the snow and then sit from your house and watch it tomorrow, because that's what you'll be doing. Charlie Adler takes you forward.
Often insurance companies deny disability claims on the basis that there's insufficient medical evidence.
I've never heard anybody getting a disability claim from an employer or an insurance company in this country.
If you've been denied long-term disability, don't give up. Visit ContactLaw.com today.
Your long-term disability for Contact Law.
Does Inline Fiberglass do window replacements? Of course we do. Hi, I'm Tom Rokicki of Inline Fiberglass.
That's all he does.
A lot of people ask me whether or not Inline does window replacements. We have been replacing vinyl, wood, and aluminum windows for over 30 years. No job is too big or too small. So let us beautify your home and improve your home energy efficiency. If your windows are leaky, call Tom Rokicki. For more information, visit us at our Factory Direct showroom or at inlinefiberglass.com.
680 News Time 956.
Now your business report here is Richard Souther.
Good evening. We now know who's going to play in the Super Bowl, but the commercials that so many people watch the game for are going to look a lot different this year. Big Super Bowl advertisers are bowing out of the commercials as they struggle to hit the right tone. You know, they don't know a lot of these big advertisers.
Just Apple that had the worst, most depressing
pandemic with these commercials. So as a result, many are just working together. Like Budweiser, the beer brand, will not air a Super Bowl ad for the first time since 1983.
Every media outlet can
company instead donating its airtime to some nonprofits. Coca-Cola, Hyundai, and Ford also passing on Super Bowl commercials this year. That's not to say the big game, which will air 2 weeks from now, will be ad-free. No, it won't. Big brands like M&M chocolates, Toyota, Pringles, Mountain Dew have all paid heavily for the right to run commercials. A 30-second spot this year would set you back $5.5 million. In the meantime, big story here. BlackBerry says they haven't made any business changes to account for the trading frenzy that has triggered a huge surge for BlackBerry stock. The shares are up another 28% today, $22.97. It's caught up in the same momentum trade as GameStop, that U.S. video game retailer, which has just gone sharply higher. Basically, it comes back to online chat rooms where investors are buying stocks that are heavily shorted, therefore triggering what they call a short cover. BlackBerry shares are up 61% over the past 5 days alone. By the way, after a volatile day, GameStop was higher by 18% today. The TSX was up 60 points, 17,906. On Wall Street, the Dow was down 36 points to 30,960 as traders await some big earnings coming in later in the week. S&P up 13 points. NASDAQ was up 92. Canadian dollar 78.44 cents U.S. This is 680 News.
Weather forecast you can bank on, because if we're off by more than 3 degrees,
you can win our growing cash jackpot. The 680 News weather guarantee. Enter online at 680news.com.
So, how's your blood pressure? Pretty good.
So if I understand this, people are selling stock today, or Friday, whatever. People sold stock on Friday. They're going to buy today, hoping they could buy today cheaper than what they sold it for on Friday. So when you people found out it was sold on Friday short, you're going to buy it, which is how he got the money in the first place, and force the price up. So when he has to buy it, that doesn't make sense. It's a circle. That's not going to work.
Scott McGilvery here.
The stock market's been around 150 years. I'm pretty sure if that was going to work, they would have tried it already.
Floors. On my projects, I use DMX One Step 2.0. This easy-to-install underlayment has an air gap design that allows moisture to evaporate.
Bitcoin won't be a stable investment until it's $40,000.
Which can be a good source for mold growth. DMX One Step can be used under both vinyl or laminate floors. So whatever you choose, you know your investment will be protected. DMX One Step 2.0. No mold, no cold. Find it at the Home Depot.
You'll always be the first to know.
Breaking news when it happens.
680 News. Right now, downtown Toronto is 0 and partly cloudy, -2 at Pearson, feeling like -5 with some clouds. The news will never stop. 680 News is FTR AM Toronto. 680 News time, 10 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News. This is Monday, January 25th. Good evening. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here's what's making news this hour.
Toronto Public Health reveals how many of Ontario's 34 cases of the COVID from the UK are in this city.
It's not from the UK. It's just identified in the UK.
With some Canadians still
The virus is smart. It's like multiracial targeting.
The federal government warns it may get even tougher on travel.
The chair of Ontario's COVID-19 vaccine distribution task force says he did not know the Moderna vaccine was redirected from a very long-term care home where dozens of residents have died.
A winter wallop in store for the GTA with snowfall warnings blanketing parts of the Golden Horseshoe.
The Pacers get their revenge against the Raptors as the Maple Leafs prepare for Game 2 against the Flames.
So I'm going to try and make the muffins in this muffin
Speculative madness. We're looking at why GameStop keeps surging. BlackBerry also getting caught up in this bonanza. TSX 160 point business.
That's a different show, bro.
680 News
Imagine
time.
if Beverly Hillbillies was a radio show.
Together on the ones at the traffic center. Good evening, Craig here.
Hey, good evening, guys. This report is brought to you by Sportsnet. We have a stolen vehicle on the westbound 401 west of Yonge in the transfer to the collectors. It's blocking the right lane on this transfer. We also have the westbound Stouffville Road ramp to the South 404 closed. This season, home is where the hockey is. For a chance to be a part of a virtual viewing party on Hockey Night every Saturday, visit Rogers Hometown Hockey in the Sportsnet app. Next report's at 10:11 with the forecast. Here's Denise Andriacci.
Mainly cloudy overnight tonight, lows near -3. Today was really the calm before the storm because periods of snow and very strong winds expected through the day on Tuesday. Special weather statement has been issued for the city of Toronto. Highs near 0. 10+ centimeters possible for pockets of the Golden Horseshoe and the GTA. On average, we'll likely see 5 to 10. Your overnight low tonight, -3.
Right now in downtown Toronto, 0 and partly cloudy. It's -2, feeling like -5 at Pearson Airport with some cloud cover. 680 News time, 10:02.
Toronto Public Health asking all city facilities to ramp up infection prevention and control measures. This as a fast-spreading variant of COVID-19 that first appeared in the UK spreads in our city.
680's Mark Douglas reports.
10 of Ontario's 34 cases of the COVID-19 variant from the UK are right here in Toronto. Dr. Vanessa Allen is Chief of Microbiology and Laboratory Science with Public Health Ontario.
There is more recent evidence to suggest that it might cause more severe disease in some individuals.
Meanwhile, Toronto Public Health has sent out some advice on how to fight the spread of this new variant, but the advice is not really new. It's essentially a call to every public institution, including long-term care homes, to audit and reinforce their health and safety measures already in place. Dr. Eileen Davila says we can put up barriers to fight the variant the same way we put up barriers to fight COVID.
This is a phase of the pandemic where the choices we make will have real impacts on the health of others, for better or worse.
I'm Mark Douglas.
680 News time, 10:03. The federal government urging Canadians to stay at home as they consider new air travel restrictions to stop the spread of the new variants of the virus. 680's Karen Seolan joins us live with those details. Karen.
Scott Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland says the government is looking seriously at measures that would make travel to Canada harder, including forcing people to quarantine in hotels and pay for it themselves.
Traveling is dangerous for you
It's dangerous for your family, and it's dangerous for the community.
Anyone coming into the country now must show proof of a negative test.
How did you fuck that up?
Plane, then isolate for 2 weeks at home. Other countries also getting tougher on travel, including our neighbors to the south. Starting Saturday, the U.S. will shut out travelers from South Africa. The president's top pandemic advisor, Dr. Anthony Fauci, says there are concerns about a fast-spreading variant in that country.
You have a free inflow of people from a country in which that mutant is clearly dominant. I talk to my colleagues often in South Africa. It clearly is dominant there.
South
I believe
Africa.
the travel ban will be important.
President Biden also extending similar bans on Brazil, Europe, and the UK. Reporting live, I'm Karen Seolin.
Learning the Moderna vaccine was redirected away from a very long-term care home that is now experiencing a deadly outbreak. Dozens of people have died of COVID-19 at Roberta Place. 6 Cities Phil Martino is following the story and has the latest.
General Rick Hillier, the head of Ontario's COVID-19 vaccine distribution task force,
Same idiot that says
Santa
Sanctabine.
Was
With the
redirected
Anglophone.
from Roberta
He doesn't know how to say her own name anyway.
When you speak here about redirecting Moderna vaccines from the long-term care facilities, we put an emphasis from the start here on the long-term care facilities in the 4 regions of Toronto, Peel, York, and Windsor-Essex, because that was the most threatened.
Hillier says they've been doing the vaccination in a staged manner to get at those who are most at risk, and if vaccines moved around, that would have been why. One Simcoe Muskoka official says early access to the Moderna vaccine would have prevented much of the deadly outbreak at Roberta Place. Dr. Colin Lee, Associate Medical Officer of Health for the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit, told the Barrie 360 several days ago if they had vaccine a month before they went in on January 17th, he thinks this outbreak would be a lot less severe. I'm Phil Martino.
680 News Time 10:06. GTHA mayors are calling on the provincial and federal governments to step up and take urgent action when it comes to improving sick day benefits. Malia Sheikh of City News reports.
Mayor John Tory says a big problem continues to be outbreaks in essential workplaces, and that's because people continue to go to work sick.
Address this issue with improved sick pay benefits. This would at the very least include, during the pandemic, an enhanced benefit, which comes closer to replacing income for those who have to take time off work to isolate, and an immediately available benefit.
Another big story has been the COVID-19 UK variant cases present at Roberta
I wait
Place.
some city council time about what they're going to tell the province and the feds should do.
In light of the concern.
The most important thing
To
to do
those
is to
dad-
act in ways that protect yourself and everyone around you.
Dr. Davila
Keep
said there'll be
focusing
a
on
temporary
you
change
need
when
to
it comes
care,
sharing
you need to
COVID-19
care,
data
and then you
next
keep
week,
doing
and
this
that's because
fake shit with your
Toronto public health
voice
is
and
migrating to
blowing
another
spit out your
system, which will
nose and
allow
breathing
all
across your
local public
vocal
health
cords.
units in Ontario to be on the same
I
system.
hate
Marina
that.
Sheikh, City News.
I can't count the number of white women that come in my face and blow air across the vocal cords into my
The
face.
vaccine line. Here's 6 Cities Richard
Not a
Summers.
wind
Stepping aside as the CEO of Great Canadian Gaming, Rob Baker, his company, by the way, runs casinos right
Trudeau's
across
dad
Canada, including
introduced
the
the
one
idea in
with
Canada
racetrack.
of a guaranteed annual
Baker
income.
and his wife
In fact,
allegedly
what the old people
flew
get
from
is
their
called
home
guaranteed
in Vancouver
annual
over the weekend
income
up to the
national supplement.
Yukon to get the Moderna vaccine. They traveled allegedly to Beaver Creek, a
1960s.
remote community. They
He also
would have
introduced
been
the
required by
Trudeau
territorial
white
law
paper.
there to isolate for 14 days on arrival, but allegedly did not. The couple
Here's
received a
Indian
ticket each
problem.
of $575 for failing to self-isolate. Great Canadian Gaming stopped closing lower on Bay Street today. I'm Richard Southern.
It's beginning to look a lot like winter. After a mild season so far, we're expecting the first big snowstorm of the year. Toronto currently under a special weather statement with a snowfall warning out for parts of the GTA.
It's
680
snowed a
Michelle
dozen
Mackey with
times.
your eye on the sky.
Between 7 and 8 a.m., 680 weather specialist Denise Andriachi says snow returns to the GTA.
We've definitely got 5 to 10 centimeters for most of the GTA.
Weather
but we could see
specialist.
10 plus centimeters for areas that are under the snowfall warning.
That includes
Not a
Mississauga,
meteorologist.
Oakville to
Oh,
Burlington,
no,
where we
no.
could see up to 20 centimeters, coupled with northeasterly winds gusting
They
40 to
even
60
begin to call her
kilometers an hour in the
meteorologists. They
afternoon.
flip out.
The drive home will be especially challenging for essential workers.
The
Blowing and
meteorologist
drifting
and weather.
snow
You
is
start
a
to
huge
call
concern,
meteorologist a
and it's just going
weather.
to be a big impact on the
weather
roads.
guy
The
will
city of
flip the
Toronto
fuck
says
out.
brine trucks
I've
are
heard them do both.
pre-treating roads and is asking drivers who need to be out to plan ahead and
Dare
leave
mix
lots
those
of
up.
extra time.
What's the difference?
Michelle
One of them
Mackey.
knows the weather, and one
680 News Time,
is a
10:08.
specialist.
U.S. House Democrats have delivered the impeachment case against Donald Trump to the
Oh,
Senate for the
Jesus.
start of his historic trial. Congressman Jamie Raskin is the lead House impeachment manager.
Oh.
Dabs and I'm passionate, smashing it, best ass of tap since the last visit.
Check this recital, yes, I'm vital, never idle. We don't acquiesce and carry stress or harbor rivalry. Been grinding for.
I'm on this shit sitting, he's not an issue. If the battle's full effect, then the status members will get you. I'm back in action, slapping these rappers who wanna act. As a matter of fact, it's slaps them for slacking up on the set. Send them sentimental words like I'm a sensible cat. Sing a song and slice a bonus, it's a piece of my set. Set the traps cause I'm a savage, you the salmon I catch. 100 dead MCs in the thread of my net. The smell of death in my direction is starting to affect them. The fact of the matter is I'm a master, it's automatic. The audiomatic addict is addict cause I just had it with those who say the damage. I don't condone the domes, who don't control and manage the flows to cause a panic. So step back, give your head a shake and don't come back. I snap heads back till they cook up from right hooks, and right hooks are demons, so I need you to leave shook. Ever see a person scalped in the daylight? Imagine how we act in the middle of the night. A bunch of savages running through your city like a pack of rabid dogs. I'ma unleash the pities, pissing on your property, marking our territory after it gets dark is when it starts to get gory. Murdering MCs, dreams on the beat, cause getting murdered on the microphone is worse to me. Spitting the high caliber, written's above average. My lyrics are like algebra, getting the mathematics. Clipping the automatic pistol weapons gone static. I ain't never taking a break at all cause I ain't asthmatic. Always rolling up a pile of grass. You can ask Patrick, hope you got a movie with some hash in your past. Take a couple of dabs and I'm passionate, smashing it, best ass up tap since the last visit.
Check this recital, yes, I'm vital, never idle. We don't acquiesce and carry stress or harbor rivalry. Been grinding full strength, so we let it hear and burn up. Be my destiny conspires and continues to inspire me. My eyes and my mind remain open. It's like a black hole to the soul, and no, I'm not joking. It's real. I maintain and incorporate how I feel, where I'm from, why I'm ill. Castle Mountain, Castle Hill, in that whole area. If what's the killer, man, my brothers on
the guy with the best weed has a cat.
I mean, it's scary.
You just get used to cat here.
Built it up 47 feet up in the area, hurt, cause I'm coming through, and my
The only problem is bag recycling program.
Some of these guys are taking over in the Commonwealth, but we are gonna rise up and be the conquerors.
306 and the 604, had to hit the Robbie off for that sushi raw. Ooh, let me tell them just who we are. Nowadays we got names to be movie stars. Doobie lit, bumping funk doobie is the heaty treat, spilling on my coochie fit. True and sick, I don't care how cool you is. If you grip that mic, you better do that shit. Got the licks like damn, who that kid? That's when I take time to tell them who I is. It's the DR, no not from ER. Out in YYC where they all fucking hee-haw. But me, y'all, shit, came straight from the past. Rose from the earth with a face full of ash. Old man eagle sees snakes in the grass. Swoop down, claws to the face of the man.
When I hit it, I split it, get it right up against fitted. Some deadly past the limit, you turkey feathers or gimmicks. Play school rhymes and some lyrics, I like totemic expression. Sacred mathematics, geometry, all in a freestyle session. Or like Vine Deloria, I've been a wine DeLorean. Microdosing vines of euphoria and mighty glorians. I'm like Billy Jack the Ripper with the chili knack for rapping. I'm like really stacked for victory, I don't even know what happened. It's like Thunderbird, Feather Staff, Buffalo Skull, Pictograph, Sasquatch, Octopus, shapeshifted to a vicious smash. Magical Whisperer, Columbus to Christopher, World Club swinging, sinister Pendleton did Prime Minister from time immemorial to my own memorial. I write my own editorial, Borealis in my cornea, yo. I don't care how freaking corny you go. You can never really be more anti-colonial, yo. Timing is everything when it comes to eyes, safe for spaces, jeopardized our positions of power, sleeping seeds, waiting for perfect conditions to flower. We are almost there, we're in the final hour. There is an urgency for those who are hoping and wishing for future links to fishing, not a path to piston. There's a call to action for the ones that listen. Whether you're black, white, brown, or radical Christian, they got sick blood. But TRC's a downstream solution. No, we need to zero in on all the upstream pollution, so we can rectify oppressive policy and finally show the 1% that we don't want to let the institutions grow. TRC ain't selling sweats and collecting debts. TRC's a safety net, it's restitution for the test. You can't pay the rich handsomely to give us what we need. That ain't first voice solution. That's the problem with the greed as the poor. That's you and yours and me and mine. We can't afford to pay these fines. We're taught that time is money, but money is time. With you and yours and me and mine. Ask the poor. Go ahead and ask the poor. Yeah. Revelation and nation and native ciphers our creation, creating a sacred space for our younger generations to be in place for creators so they can lay down on paper a lyric or produce to be with you and me in creation. Maybe it takes some more help to overcome and go higher than under the wire, somewhere to be inspired and safe, man. Indigenous artists, the modern carvers using different mediums. We have the young blood, so we have to be in him. He reaches for the deep skin, pure spirit isn't hearing him. There's no more feeling him. Creator is what I see in him. It's for DM, it's spent on freeing them. Freedom and him. Living, giving back with rhythm and boom back.
Look at DM, I call him like I see him. Every day.
Punchlines that hit back. So I sit back and let
I'm all ambitious, he's not the issue. If the battle's full effect, then the status members will get you. I'm back in action, slapping these raps who wanna act. As a matter of fact, it's slashing for slacking up on the set. Send them sentimental words like I'm a sensible cat. Sing a song and slice a bonus, it's a piece of my set. Set the traps cause I'm a savage, you the salmon I catch. 100 dead MCs in the thread of my net. The smell of death in my direction is starting to affect them. The fact of the matter is I'm a master, it's automatic. The idiomatic addict is addict cause I just had it with those who say the damage. I don't condone the domes, you don't control and manage the flows to cause the panic, so step back. Give your head a shake and don't come back. I snap heads back till they crook up from right hooks, and right hooks are demons, oh I need you to leave shook. Never see a person scalped in the daylight. Imagine how we act in the middle of the night. A bunch of savages running through your city like a pack of rabid dogs. I'ma unleash the pities, pissing on your property, marking our territory after it gets dark is when it starts to get gory. Murdering MCs, dreams on the peak is getting murdered on the microphone is worse to me. Spitting a high caliber, written's above average. My lyrics are like algebra, getting that mathematics. Putting the clip in the automatic pistol whip, I'm strong static. I ain't never taking a break at all cause I ain't asthmatic. Always rolling up a pile of grass. You can ask Patrick, hope you got a doobie with some hash in your past. Take a couple of dabs and I'm passionate, smashing it, fast ass up tap since the last visit.
Check this recital, yes I'm vital, never idle. We don't acquiesce or carry stress or harbor rivalry. And grind at full strength to land a hero. My destiny conspires and continues to inspire me. My eyes and my mind remain open. It's like a black hole to the soul, and no, I'm not joking. It's real. I maintain and incorporate how I feel, where I'm from, why I'm ill, Castle Mountain, Castle Hill, in that whole area. If worth the killer, man, my verbals are a barrier. It's getting scarier. I mean, it's scarier. People's on the barrier. Build it up, 47 feet up in the area. Hurt, cause I'm coming through, and my danger damage your real game about to fuck you up with spoken words. It's dum-dums taking over in the common world, but here we are gonna rise up and be the conquerors.
306 in the 604. Had to hit the YBR for that sushi raw. Ooh, let me tell them just who we are. Nowadays we got made to be movie stars. Doobie lit, bumpin' funk doobie is the heaty treat. Spilling on my coochie fit, true MC. I don't care how cool you is. If you grip that mic, you better do that shit. Got the links like damn, who that shit? That's when I take time to tell them who I is. It's the DR, no not from ER. Out in YYC where they all fucking yeehaw. But me, y'all, shit, came straight from the past. Rose from the earth with a face full of ash. Old man eagle sees snakes in the grass. Swoop down, claws to the face of the man.
When I hit it, I split it, get it right up against faded fitteds. I'm deadly past the limit, turkey feathers or gimmicks. Play school rhymes and lyrics, I like totemic expression. Sacred mathematics, geometry, all in a freestyle session. Or like Vindaloria, I've been a Windalorian. Microdosing vines of euphoria and midichlorians. I'm like Billy Jack the Ripper with a chilly knack for rapping. I'm like really stacked for victory, I don't even know what happened. It's like Thunderbird, Featherstaff, Buffalo Skull, Pictograph, Sasquatch, Octopus, shapeshift into a bitch smash, Wendigo Whisperer, Columbus to Christopher, World Club swinging, sinister pendulum dip, Prime Minister from time immemorial to my own memorial. I write my own editorial, Borealis in my cornea, yo. I don't care how friggin' corny you go. You can never really be more anti-colonial, yo. Timing is everything when it comes to our safer spaces. Jeopardize our positions of power, sleeping seeds, waiting for perfect conditions to flower. We are almost there, we're in the final hour. There is an urgency for those who are hoping and wishing for future lakes to fish in, not a path to piss in. There's a call to action for the ones that listen. Whether you're black, white, Ran out radical Christian, they got sick flow. But TRC's a downstream solution. No, we need to zero in on all the upstream pollution. So we can rectify oppressive policy and finally show the 1% that we don't want to let the institutions grow. TRC shedding sweats and collecting debts. TRC's a safety net as restitution for the theft. You can't pay the rich handsomely to give us what we need. That ain't first voice solution. That's the problem with the greed. That's the poor. That's you and yours and me and mine. We can't afford to pay these fines. We're taught that time is money, but money is time with you and yours and me and mine. Ask the poor. Go ahead and ask the poor. Yeah. We rap a nation and native ciphers our creations, creating a sacred space for our younger generations to be impressed for creators so they can lay down on paper a lyric or produce to be with you or me in creation. Maybe it takes some more help to overcome and go higher than under the wire, somewhere to be inspired and safe, man. Indigenous artists, the modern carvers using different mediums. We have the young bloods on hip-hop and EDM. Boy, that kid got the beat in him. He reaches for the deer skin. Fear isn't killing him. There's no more fear in him. Creator is what I see in him. It's forgive, it's been on freedom. Freedom and living, only way we live and give it back. We're living and boom back, and what we be moving from the front to the back. Front line attack, front rhymes on tracks, punchlines that hit back. So I said,
Hour of the Tiger.
Sweat, loud and sweat, release my breath, retrace my steps. So the road
$300, 10 minutes, $500, 9 minutes. Hour of the Tiger. I'm not sure if that's
yeah, the color's red skin, we came rich and melanin. 7th generation indigenous and we killing it. Talking like talk. It's so matter cause we sending it. Solidarity with our fam around the nation. If you got an issue, get in line and grab the issue. We can pick up battles forever, try to duck and diss you. No dapple, not idol, we breaking no cycles, full circles, full pointers. Don't worship false idols. Earth, wind, and water, gotta bring you that fire. Knowledge the elements, they consider me the writer. Oral tradition, we all on a mission. Vocal with the wisdom, the drum is our rhythm. Would you still be an activist if you were offline? This is bigger than them statuses, we march the front lines. Mother Earth is deserved, let our voices be heard. I keep the black state, bond is my word.
I am not, I am free, for I am still as God created. Eternal being a luminous that hear it. My crucify, my flame of my glow, they can't get near it. My brother died by the hammer just last year, but his soul ain't in the slammer, he just passed here. And I feel for this killer cause he's in a cell. Still trapped inside a body thinking he's in jail. I seek repentance for my crimes, so I wish him well. Forgiveness is my key to freedom, I kiss and tell. I hope you get to pick the comfort of his side lips.
Ready to stop, that's convenient because no one is accessing settings.
Painful tears on the phone. I can't make her understand the glow I've come to know. So I said to think of the desires of my biggest bro. He wouldn't want you suffering from guilt that really ain't yours. But that's about the best that a son can do. And I can never blame her for her pain and feeling blue. I can't imagine what it'd be to lose my little dude. But still the truth is truth. I hope she solves the riddle too. She gives me and I am her and I are you one. No death by your gun truly divides us from one. A mortal man can't embody truth, the portals can. When life reaches man to make a mortal man.
I skipped it back. I skipped it back like 4.5 minutes ago. So, yeah, keep it up. Goof Troop, there you are. Keep it up.
He's not an issue if the battle's full of
It's your time of the day. It's 10 o'clock. It's after hours. Your time of the day. Everybody on the fucking normal range is locked down. They can't see your ass being dragged around the facility, right?
Sing a song and slice a bone.